Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to be actually making a response video to CLG Marksman's video that was released on today or the 31st, whenever I post this, called the big RNG change to turbo build. Now, there are a few specific topics I want to get into, and if you guys aren't a fan of hearing me talk about ping and things like that anymore, it doesn't have to be for you. Go ahead and click off the video. I'm not really coming at this like in a sour kind of way. I think this is just a really cool discussion. I mean, even at the end of Marksman's video, he says, hey, let me know. Obviously that kind of alludes to, leaving a comment in the comment section, which maybe I'll do to let him know that I'm making a response video. But in a more literal sense, I wanted to hop on the mic and give my opinion to some of his points and some of his thoughts, because it's not like he was just innately against it. And in fact, he wasn't at all. But I do want to touch on a couple of things. So there's a couple of like main points that he brings up, and just first and foremost, I want to say that like them fixing the clunkiness of turbo build, the reverting part, all of that is great. All of that is really, really good. We don't really need to touch on that too much in terms of like him bringing that up in the video, but there were like two main points and things that he brought up, two talking points that I want to kind of hammer on. And the first, first of all, to preface this a little bit as well, I'm a Marksman fan, so again, not looking to stir up any drama or anything. I like the video, gave a like on the video, always watch his videos, really good content. So first and foremost, want to get that out of the way. Also, I'm an old school esports gaming dude. I come from the MLG days, I come from game battles, I come from playing online, Gears of War online, and this leads into our first topic. Old school gaming online, it was very rare that you would run into dedicated servers, so a lot of the time it was peer-to-peer connection. And a lot of people, a lot of younger guys these days, you guys don't even know what peer-to-peer connection is. Peer-to-peer connection is basically, there's a designated host, and it's not like today's games where you have like a party leader who connects to a dedicated server. It's peer-to-peer in the sense that everybody in the lobby connects to one person's internet connection. So in Gears of War, in Halo, and probably in some of the old Call of Duties, I wasn't much of a COD player back then. I mean, I played a lot of it, but I never did like custom games and scrims or anything like that. But in a lot of those games, back when, back when Marksman was playing and back when I was playing, because, me and him are on the older age, scale of players for Fortnite, a lot of those games were peer-to-peer connection. So he talks about having host advantage with shotgun in Halo, and dude, I'm here to tell you, man, I played Gears of War, come from Gears of War. Host was a god. If you had host connection, you took less damage, you shot faster, you dealt more damage. You were literally walking around like a god among men. And so in that sense, to hammer on the point of, hey, there's always going to be a ping advantage in online games, he's absolutely right, but it's a little bit different nowadays, because most games, I mean most mainstream games, competitive games, you don't really play peer-to-peer connection. In fact, if I'm being honest, I mean, not that I have the most extensive knowledge in the world, I can't think of a single one that does that, because it's just not really efficient. It's not fair, it's not fun, it's not good. So we're all playing on dedicated servers, so that kind of point, it gets a little bit watered down these days. And not to say that there's not truth in there, there is. If you have better connection on a game, you have an advantage. It doesn't matter, even if it's dedicated servers. That's why these players are moving closer to the server, because moving closer to the server gives you lower ping. Now, when talking about that, I think it's important to note, and again, this is coming from my perspective, but it's really, there's a lot of really strong evidence here. Having low ping in Fortnite prior to these recent changes was not just like having an advantage. It's not like normal games where you have an advantage. It was a much, much bigger advantage. It's like having a core gameplay mechanic, and that core gameplay mechanic was box fighting, the ability to take walls, the ability to be aggressive and defensive. It's all of those things kind of bundled into one little package, and it's like basically telling the high ping player or the lesser connection player that you just kind of can't do that. And so in the sense, I kind of want to squash out that, all games have, ping advantage. All games, because it's kind of the same thing that Ninja said in his clip recently. All competitive online games have ping advantage. Yes, that's absolutely true. But Fortnite had the most advantage out of any game I've ever seen in 10-12 years of playing competitive online video games, and I mean that to the bottom of my heart when we're talking about dedicated servers. Again, I'm not talking about host advantage in Gears of War, peer-to-peer connection, shotgun advantage in Halo. I'm talking about dedicated servers, ping to the server. This game, Fortnite, had the worst advantage I've ever seen. It ripped away core gameplay mechanics. So I kind of want to, you know, I want to nudge you guys on that one. I hate that point. I hate to do it to you boys. You know what I mean? I really do. I do appreciate you guys' perspective, but you know, nah, that ain't it, Chief. Because seriously, the advantage that you got from low ping on Fortnite was pretty nasty. Now the other main point, and even, you know, the point that's brought up in the title of the video, is like the RNG. Oh, you know, they added in this role. If you guys don't know, that's what they did. They've basically made wall taking a role now. It's a 50-50 chance. You know, you go to replace the wall, I go to replace the wall. One of us is gonna get it. We'll have to wait and see who gets it. You know, I get that, and I want to go ahead and say that adding more RNG to the game is not good. It's not good, but in this particular scenario, this RNG is fair. And that's one word that I'm not often hearing brought up a lot when it comes to this wall taking ping debate, is fairness. Is it good for the game to have more RNG in it? No. And there's a lot of ways that they could get rid of a lot of RNG. I've talked about it before, but this doesn't have to be one of them. And the reason it doesn't have to be one of them, and the reason why it's not even a debate on whether or not this change is good in my mind, is because it makes the game fair. And RNG isn't fun. Yeah, you're gonna lose those rolls sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna lose them 5, 6, 7 times in a row, but it's fair. Now, prior to that change, nothing about box fighting, wall taking, and having a ping advantage was fair. If you were the low ping player, you were pretty safe in your defensive mode. You were pretty confident in your offensive mode, and ultimately you kind of ran around like a god, like I said, you know, with a really big advantage. And so in this sense, RNG is good. And I mean that. It's good because I think it's the best they can do. I don't think it's possible for them to fix this any other way. And with all the time that I spent playing this game at high ping, and I'm talking Texas ping, where I usually sit close to 30, which is not bad. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I don't really feel it. But I would fluctuate up to 50, and sometimes worse depending on what server I'm playing on, since I can play on NA West and NA East. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, a change like this it's game changing. It changes everything. My ability to play confident, my ability to play aggressive, it's starting to flourish in a way that I never thought was possible. And so yeah, it's RNG, but again, it's fair. So I wanted to put that response out in the cosmos, in the YouTube sphere. For one, because again, I appreciate this dialogue like content. I mean, this video is very similar to the videos that I try to make, a really fun discussion. And again, I'm going to do the same thing that Marksman said. I want to know you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're a high ping player, how does the game feel to you now? If you're a low ping player, how does the game feel to you now? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty sure that ping still matters a little bit. I can't really put my finger on it. It feels like there's a roll in there, but it's like it almost slightly favors the low ping player, and I can't nail it because I've done a lot of testing. I've done 100 ping testing, I've done 80 ping testing. It still feels like the roll is there. I can still get the walls and such, but I'm still trying to figure out where the advantage is because I'm pretty sure it's still there. And I should go ahead and tell you guys that there are other ping advantages that don't get brought up in Fortnite that are still going to happen. People on low ping are still going to probably place their walls faster than me. And I mean, like in a normal sense, like when they get shot at, the wall will go up faster than mine, most likely. Their shots are going to register faster. You know, all of those little minute, you know, server to player, you know, kind of internet connection ping advantages that come along in a lot of normal games that have these advantages are still going to be there, but those advantages are very tiny differences, fractions of a second, little things here and there, versus, you know, wall taking and box fighting, which again was a core and is a core gameplay mechanic. Again, Marksman, thank you so much for starting this dialogue. Hopefully this response is kind of well received. If you see it, I like your content, I think it's fun, and yeah, so thanks for checking out this video, guys. Please do not leave without leaving a like. I appreciate it again, and I'll see you on the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel the fire inside of me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat take you over?